For this part, I'm going to start by focusing on the Category 1 plugins. I'm also going to show you how they are managed in comparison to VST plugins. I'm leaving the VST plugins inserted for this example. Category 1 plugins are the silver-grey Magix native insert effects. Any plugin can be opened by left-clicking on the downward arrow of the plugin slots. When there is a horizontal dividing line, Category 1 insert effects will always appear in the top half. I'll open one now. Notice that the newly added FX insert is now at the top of the list. FX inserts are always by default placed before VST effects. Another way to add insert effects is by clicking on the FX routing button. Use this window to rearrange the FX order. You can then save this as a routing preset. But you can also turn Category 1 insert effects on and off in this window. To do this, click on the plus sign next to FX inserts to expand the submenu. You will now see a list of these FX inserts, and they can be turned on or off by using the tick box. At the time of making this video, it's only possible to move the Magix internal FX inserts as a group. Unlike VST effects, you can't change the actual order of individual FX inserts at this time. The exception to this rule is the dynamics, distortion, equalizer, and legacy delay reverb. The individual position of these four effects can be changed. When I close the window, you will see the effects I just turned on have been added to the FX slots of the object editor. As I mentioned earlier, the default is to place FX inserts above DX VST plugins. You can change this order by clicking on the FX routing button again. Select DX VST plugins, pre-fader in this case, then use the arrows to reposition this plugin group above the FX insert plugins. You can then save this as a routing preset if you want to. Now when I close the window, you will see that the VST plugins have been given priority in the plugin slot order. By the way, if you double-click on the DX VST entry, it takes you directly to the VST configuration window. You can also switch between the plugin window and the FX routing window using the tabs on the left. You may have noticed there are two ways to access these configuration windows from within the object editor. One way is to use the FX routing button, which takes you directly to the FX routing window. Clicking the Plugins tab takes you to the VST configuration window. The other way is to press the Plugins Edit button to go directly to the VST configuration window. Clicking the Routing tab takes you to the FX routing page. So these are essentially the same windows, only the route to them is different. I felt it was important to explain the differences between Magix FX inserts and VST plugins, especially how they interact within the object editor. Anyway, I'm hoping this has somehow clarified the situation for you.